What up? Big Herc916. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Positivity and motivation. Got to keep you guys laced up even during the holidays, man. And I was just talking with a friend of mine, and I was telling them that they can't expect to work a full-time job and also have a full-time hustle as far as making whatever their side business be a multi-million-dollar business. I say that because you just got to just look at the numbers to see that it doesn't make sense. It's impossible, literally, unless you have a rich uncle who's gonna just do all the groundwork for you while you work your 9 to 5. But when you break down the numbers and you look at the percentage of people who are actually multimillionaires, not just, barely at a million, but multimillionaires, and the amount of time and effort it takes to maintain that, and actually to even get there to the point where you can build that type of wealth. And I'm not talking about inherited wealth. I'm talking about somebody who's building this wealth from the ground up. I look at it as no different than a person that spends, let's just say, 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day practicing swimming. They're practicing, their different strokes. They're doing different drills. They're training their body to be in the water. Their goal is to become an Olympic swimmer. Now, you, on the other hand, maybe you swim, an hour a day. You got an above ground pool. You do your little laps. And you want to say that you're on an Olympic level. No way, no how. You do not have any idea, even if you think you're a talented swimmer, and maybe you were on the high school swim team, you have no idea what it takes to take it to the next level. And no different than a world-class soccer player, a world-class boxer, somebody who's at the highest level of fabrication, of metal, welding, whatever. It takes a lot of work and discipline. And those people don't do their craft part-time to become at the highest level of success in those crafts. You got to put the time in. You got to put the effort in. You cannot expect that, your little hour, 2 hours a day is going to amount to what you have in your mind as this big, financial growth, because it's just not, you're not putting enough time in. It's just like training. Everybody says, "Oh, I'd fight Mike Tyson for $1 million." Yeah, who wouldn't? You think you're going to go in there, "Oh, I'll get knocked out for, 20 million. Okay. How many ass whoopings or whooping asses did you have to get to that point? You don't just start at the top. And that's the thing. Everybody wants to start at the top. Everybody wants to be able to do this over here, but still get this. They don't want to make the sacrifice. It's like, literally somebody says, "Hey, you go and take care of, doing this little lick and just bring me back a cut," while they sit at home and play Xbox. It doesn't work like that. You got to put your work. You got to get your hands dirty, and you got to sacrifice. It's a trade-off. Whatever you're in a comfort zone on over here, that comfort zone, you have to relinquish that in order to get the spoils of war over here. It's a trade-off. And not everybody, as far as when you talk about athletic ability, I mean, you got people that, play ball, part-time, just during basketball season, and maybe they play football during football season, and they were able to, make first team on both teams, but that's no more. Nowadays, you have to focus on one sport. Your kid better be on some travel team. He's got to be nationally ranked. He's got to, be working with, some type of special coach for certain drills. If he's a skilled position like a quarterback or or a running back. It's not just talent alone that'll get you there to the league anymore. And even with talent, you have how many colleges, Division 1, 2, and 3, and then at that point, still getting to where a scout noticed you and your coach can contact somebody and then get you a tryout at the combine. And then some guys are monsters in college, All-American, and then they get to the combine and they can't bust a grape. They don't rank anywhere near the top as far as where they're at. Now, you take that same qualification as far as business, and you got guys, oh man, I can do this and do that. And you look at their work ethic. They don't have the discipline on their own. They're scatterbrained. They can't focus on one thought, but you give them a job, they'll get a paycheck, but tell them to create jobs. Tell them to run the business. It'll go bankrupt, belly up within a year. So there's a big difference, man, as far as building something, working for somebody, and creating. And a lot of people to say that, I can do this, and you're trying to do something, part-time and thinking it's going to really take off, it just defies the universe. It doesn't happen like that. You can't be a part-time NBA basketball player. You can't play for NBA and then have a part-time job working at a company as a representative. It doesn't work like that. If you're repping, you're repping it on the court. You're getting a shoe endorsement on the court. That's your company rep position, but you're not doing that part-time. You're not going to play in the NFL and know the playbook, but at the same time be going to an office. It doesn't work like that. These are full-time jobs because somebody's right there waiting to take your position. Now in business, the competition is taking your business. You got people while you're, resting on your laurels and doing your other job, they're doing 1,000% on what you're doing, 10%, 20%. Therefore, they're going to be more successful at it. And so for a lot of people out there trying to create these multi-billion dollar businesses, if you're not giving it your all and you're not really focused, you're not going to make it in that business, man. Another way to look at it is when you take a magnifying glass. When we were younger, we used to have magnifying glasses you could get from like the Cracker Jack box, and you'd hold it and you could burn a hole in like a piece of paper or a leaf, and you'd have to hold it for like, a couple minutes, and it would form this hot spot that would eventually, spontaneous combustion. But if you take that same concept into the universe and you hold that magnifying glass on whatever it is you're trying to perfect or monetize, and you got to hold it steady. Holding it steady might be 2, 3, 5 years, 10 years, but putting in the work. And if you do that, the universe will bless you because you put in the work. But you can't expect to be sitting at somebody else's place of business, making them money, and then trying to build your wealth on your off hours part-time, because sooner or later you're going to have to say, you know what? I can't work for you. I'm going to have to give myself all the attention, because you're sending mixed thoughts into the universe. You're telling the universe you want to create this, whatever it is, but then you're not putting your all into it because you doubt yourself to a degree where you're still going to your regular job because it has benefits and you're going to get a paycheck. Life doesn't work like that. Not when it comes to success and wealth. And like I said, unless you've inherited from your parents, you got a silver spoon, you're just, doing something because you're bored. And at any given moment, you could walk into a situation and somebody's going to just hand you over a corporation. That's a totally different game. But for those out there who are looking to do something, you can't start at the top, and you got to put in the work, and it's not part-time. And anybody that you talk to that you ask to possibly invest in your idea and your business, if they hear that you're only doing this part-time and you're, hoping that with their money you can add to this and blah, 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 they're going to be like, they don't want to give their money to a part-time hustler, a part-time businessman, a part-time entrepreneur, because that means they're going to get part-time results. So it all ties in. You got to put full commitment and there's sacrifices. It doesn't matter if you have to sleep on, a friend's couch or sell your car to make it work, but that's what you got to do to sustain yourself. But that's the trade-off. And a lot of people don't want to do that trade-off. And that's why they're not successful at the highest level. That's why they'll never become that, that businessman that they vision, because they look at the people, but they don't know those people's backstory and the sacrifice those people made who were self-made. Not the ones who got, like I said, inherited. They got a trust when they turned 24, or when they hit 30, they got, something, and then they use that. It's different. That's different, man. And there are situations like that. But if you're talking about building something, start young, but stay focused on it. Give it your all. Don't try to do 5 different things and be half-assed at 5 different things. Focus on one thing that you feel will be your bread and butter, so you can piggyback your other ventures off of that thing, but give it 1,000%. And if you do that, you will bubble. You will become successful. It's inevitable. You will be all that you can be, because the universe is just, you're not leaving up to chance. And your thoughts are clear, and at that point, it will open up, and whatever you were hustling for in that 4th dimension, you'll be blessed in the 3rd dimension. So just a little game for you guys out there. You can't start at the top. You got to put in that work. Big Herc916, holler at me. Hello, I'm Big Herc916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.